Hi, I'm Jen from Easy Green Recipes.
And I'm Charity from Accessible Nutrition.
We're going to show you how to make our delicious Oven Baked Tandoori Chicken dinner recipe from our book Easy Healthy Tasty.
So Jen, take us through what we need to do to make this Oven Baked Tandoori Chicken.
Okay, well this recipe is really simple, like most of the ones in our book. And the way we've designed it is we've designed it so that you can just use packets of things that you might normally buy from a supermarket. But before we begin, the first step is to heat the oven. So can you heat the oven to 200 degrees?
200.
Yes. So what have we got? Our measurements are half a cup of plain yogurt and a tablespoon of tandoori paste. So look, this is a 1/4 cup measure, so it's going to be 2 of these into the bowl.
Do you want me to get a tablespoon?
Yes, please. Can you pop that in? And I'll grab a spoon to just mix everything together.
And Jen, how precise do we need to be with these measures? Like, do I need to level it off or?
Not very precise at all.
Okay.
So basically what we're doing is we're making this nice yogurty coating for the outside of the chicken. And when that cooks, it's also going to sort of turn into a little bit of a sauce as well. So we mix it all up together. I think this looks beautiful. I really love this combination of colours together. And you know, if you're doing a barbecue, you can also use this as a marinade for, you know, this piece of meat that you might put on the barbecue.
That's a good idea.
Useful little tip.
Now, does it matter, Jen, that you've got some little swirls there that aren't mixed in together?
Not really.
Okay.
It's all going to work out in the wash,
Okay,
so to
great.
speak, okay? So then I've got some chicken. Now this recipe's got 4 chicken thighs in it, which is really handy because normally when you buy a packet of chicken from the supermarket, you often get 4 chicken thighs in one packet. So you're not going to let any food go to waste. You're going to cook the whole packet with this. This is also a great recipe that can be used in a sandwich the next day if you do have some leftovers, or chopped up and put in a salad or something like that.
Sounds delicious.
So we're going to coat this chicken in the yogurt mixture. Just like this. So we just want to coat the piece of chicken in our yogurt and tandoori paste mix. Charity, could you give me a hand transferring them to the baking dish?
Sure.
So it's really very quick. We're just coating them in the paste one at a time and then putting them into our baking dish.
And how spread out do I need to have them in this dish?
I think you want a single layer of chicken, really, but if there is some overlap, it doesn't matter. Okay, so that's all in our dish now. We've got a little bit of leftover marinade here.
Jen, would you, with the leftovers here, would you put those in with the chicken?
Well, you could, but I really like this dish a little bit drier.
Okay.
So if I were to put this in, it would make more like a curry, a runnier dish.
Oh,
and
see, I would like that. I would like that, so
Okay.
I probably would put it in.
Okay, well it's
Yeah.
fine. You can do whichever. But it is important that if you aren't going to put it in, you don't use this anymore because you have just rubbed raw chicken through it, and that's fine. That's how we've designed it. It's fine to do that and to get your hands dirty to create this dish, but we do have to wash our hands now.
Yeah. So let's go do that, and I'll scrape the rest of this into the bin for now.
Thanks. One of the ways we've made this a no-chop recipe is we've included ingredients that you can find at the supermarket already chopped up.
So that means I don't have to use frozen cauliflower, right? I can find already chopped up fresh cauliflower.
That's right. You could use frozen cauliflower if you couldn't find the fresh product in the supermarket already chopped up. So here we go. Now, I'm really just putting the cauliflower in any old way. There's no strategy to it necessarily. But if we make it, I suppose, even around the pan, what that does mean is the dish looks very presentable when we take it to the table. So we could just take the whole dish to the table and people could serve themselves from it if we wanted to.
I love it. Simple.
It's totally simple. The next thing we're going to use is cherry tomatoes. What's great about these is when you cook them, they go really nice and juicy. And so they collapse a little bit and you get sort of sauce coming out of them.
Oh, yum.
And that's a great thing to have. It contributes to the sauce and the moisture in the dish. Another thing, same way as I did with the cauliflower, I'm just placing it around the dish so that it can look really beautiful when you take it to the table.
Okay, Jen, what do I do if I can't find cherry tomatoes or if they're just really expensive?
Well, you can buy canned ones. So if you had a can of those,
canned cherry tomatoes?
Canned cherry tomatoes.
Really?
Yes.
So Jen, this looks amazing as it is before it's even cooked, and the smell is just delicious.
Yes.
But I'm just wondering, with the cauliflower, once we cook it in the oven, I've never roasted cauliflower before. What does it look like?
It goes a very beautiful nutty brown, okay?
Oh, okay.
So you might start to think, oh, am I burning this cauliflower? But that's really normal.
Okay.
And it has brown flecks on it, and it actually looks quite pretty, this dapple brown and white colour. It's a bit different to boiled cauliflower though.
Okay. Well, let's get it in the oven.
Let's do it. It's going to go in on a 200-degree oven for 45 minutes.
45 minutes, great.
So, this has
Wow.
been in the oven for 45 minutes. And what you can see is that the tomatoes have gone all nice and collapsy, as I said.
They've popped too.
Yeah, they split open. The cauliflower, like we said, goes this beautiful dappled colour, but it's actually quite soft.
Okay.
And what you might also be able to see is that the sauce looks a little bit watery, but that's okay because when we mix it together, all the tomatoes get mixed in and all the cauliflower gets mixed in, and it all goes back together and looks fine once you serve it.
So it kind of mixes all together like a nice saucy coating over everything, yeah?
Absolutely. And if you're serving this with rice or with bread, you get a lovely sauce that soaks into the rice and the bread.
Nice. With that, on the rice, if you're someone who lives by themselves, or if you find it difficult to cook and boil rice, you can even buy these days rice that comes already in a one portion serve that you just whack in the microwave. Follow the directions on the box really, but it's normally like 30 seconds or something.
Yeah.
Rice is done.
Yeah. It's a really simple way to make sure you've got rice on hand. Yeah, that's
very
right.
convenient. Yeah.
So there's one more thing we need to add.
Oh, the spinach.
That is the spinach.
Yeah.
So remember how when we put this together, we laid it out so that it looked like something that we could take to the table because of the way that it was presented. Well, now that it's cooked, you've sort of got orange and red, and the colours don't pop the way they did to start off with.
You're right.
So we're just going to put some handfuls of baby spinach over the top.
Yum.
Take that to the table and then mix it through once you've impressed your guests.
And we're going to serve it with some rice, but also some extra baby spinach because we haven't really added that much to the plate just yet.
Yeah.
Another option, if you're looking for something a little bit different, instead of the rice, you could always cook some papadums in the microwave or something like that. Yeah. And that'll add an extra crunchy layer that you don't have at the moment.
Yeah. Great. For this recipe and all our other no-chop recipes, head to easyhealthytasty.com to get the cookbook. You'll find the link in the description underneath.